Hi, today I'm going to quickly talk about the various leaders I had researched for the Business Leadership Project. I chose three different leaders and one locally, so I guess a total of four. Mike Doherty was my local leader. Mike Doherty is the co-founder of Walton International Development. They're a real estate investment company that buys and sells land commercially, locally, privately. And they are international through Beijing, Switzerland, Ireland, Hong Kong. They're pretty much everywhere. So Mike Doherty not only is successful as a leader financially, he does very well, but through charitable work, they run a summer camp outside of Calgary in Bragg Creek. It's called Our Lady Queen of Peace, or Noko'oi Ranch. They're an Irish family, and each year they have about 400 students that come there that are underprivileged, that cannot afford to go to summer camps, and they provide food, water, shelter, fun activities, games, the whole 9 yards for these kids. And I sat down and had an interview with Mike for about an hour and asked him a few questions in regards to his leadership style. Mike presents a very, I guess in a way, laissez-faire, democratic, kind of a mixed type leadership style. He likes the inputs of others, but he also is kind of laid back and likes to see the action go on in front of him, and creates sort of an autonomous workplace. So Mike presents leadership traits that are very, very common in great leaders, such as the other two I had chosen, in terms of the good ones, Sir Richard Branson and Alexander the Great. Mike Doherty shows ambition. In everything he does, he makes sure it's done to 100% completion, and he's truly a visionary. He whatever he does, he touches, he makes it turn to gold. And not only does he keep that for himself, he likes to give back, and they give back millions of dollars each year to the community. And Mike Doherty believes in everyone getting their fair share of what he's built. So I commend Mike Doherty on that. He's a family friend and an amazing leader in my eyes. So I'll move on to the next person, Sir Richard Branson. Sir Richard Branson is he's sort of iconic in a way. Myself, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a young entrepreneur. I run a fitness and dieting business, and I've taken a lot of his business models in a smaller sense and kind of constructed them as he's on a mission with whatever he does. He makes sure that everybody has their input. So he sort of is a democratic leader in a way as well. All of his employees truly believe in what he does. And one of his famous sayings is, "Screw it, just do it." Sir Richard Branson, he started out with basically nothing and dropped out of school, started his own record store, opened it up, turned it into a record label, and now he's branched off into millions of different companies. And for me, that is the most iconic figure personally that I take, and I read all of his books, and I take whatever I can from what I've learned from him. We do definitely share similar personality traits in the sense that, again, he's also a visionary. I believe you need to create a vision and create a winning strategy. A winning strategy allows people to create an efficient team, and it creates an overall success rate for each company that you do. If you have a plan on what you're doing and persevere through it, no matter the obstacle, you are going to come out on top. And Sir Richard Branson shows all of this. He's an iconic entrepreneur, and I look up to him very much, and I will continue to as long as I live. My other choice for a good leader was Alexander the Great. He's iconic in a way that back in the day he led an army of 40,000 people, and himself, he created a winning strategy. And whenever he went into the war, he didn't just think straightforward. He's an outside the box thinker. He would use the terrain, land, sea, whatever he could to get behind the enemy's mind and get inside of what they're thinking and take them out through that. So I won't go on too long about him, but I'll move on to the poor leader. I chose uh, Kim Jong Un. Sorry if I didn't say that right. As the poor leader because, I mean, in his short term that he's done so far, around 5 years in North Korea, he's sort of isolated himself from the rest of the world. They used to have close ties with China, and since Kim Jong Un had taken over after his dad's death in 2011, the economy, he's starting to prosper their own economy, but he doesn't like negotiating with the rest of the world. North Korea and the U.S. aren't very close, and to be honest, um, they've given nuclear threats, missiles, warheads, um, in terms of negotiating with the U.S., and they aren't very friendly with each other. So Kim Jong Un is he's a very autocratic leader. He likes everything done his way and only his way. I say this in the lightest sense, but really he's performed 12 executions publicly since 2012. Even on his own uncle, he executed. It's terrible. But to move on, Kim Jong Un presents a very cantankerous type leadership style. He's very self-centered and focused on what's best for him, and not always so much what is good for the people or how to fit in with the rest of the global economy. I believe it's important that he's never going to shift the way he thinks. It is what it is, but he is a very different leader, and that's probably not the best word I could use, but I'm going to use that one because it's subtle. So him and I don't really share too many similarities in terms of leadership traits. We both share ambition and confidence, and I believe the greatest trait a leader could have would be communication. If you can't communicate effectively, both verbally and through written communication, you're not going to be an effective leader. It's as simple as that. And Kim Jong Un, he gets his point across, which I commend him for that. Whatever he wants, he says it, and he's very blunt and confident behind his words. I believe I'm the same way, and that's all I'm going to pretty much relate myself to him in that sense. Overall, this project really taught me a lot on the different types of leaders that are in power in the world right now, in the past, and both locally, internationally. And I believe that throughout time, you're going to see many different leaders that don't show, what the ideal characteristics of a leader would be to a person like you or I, but in their sense, they're still leading a group of people. So there's different ways to lead people, and there is no best way. There is no right or wrong answer. But personally, I believe that the leadership styles of Sir Richard Branson, Mike Doherty here locally, and Alexander the Great back in the day. Those are the iconic figures that I look up to. Even Steve Jobs and Bill Gates. These are huge figureheads in the world of technology right now, and they're amazing. And I don't personally agree with everything that Kim Jong-un does, but that's his leadership style. And I'll leave it at that. Thank you for taking the time to watch this, and I truly appreciate listening, and have yourself a great day.